Fellas, welcome to Week 2 of JJDL Season 3 Chien Pao Division. I'm the Malinade, coach of your San Antonio Espers, and this week we are taking on Coach Bope and the Cleveland Guardians. You can check him out in the description along with all the other JJDL coaches, and a massive shout out to John Jr. for hosting the league. If you don't want to watch the team builder, and you want to skip straight to the battle, there will be a time shown on the screen, but if you are sticking around, I appreciate it. And without further ado, my opponent has an amazing team consisting of Deoxys Speed, Garchomp, Primarina, Scizor, Sarina, Chandelure, Raikou, Smeargle, Greedent, Glaceon, and Zapdos Galar. Some things to know about my opponent's team. He has Terra Chandelure, Terra Greedent, and Terra Glaceon. He's got Rocks and Spikes on Deoxys Speed and Garchomp. He's got Defog on Scizor and Rapid on Sarina. And he can use Smeargle as a hazard setter with things like Ceaseless Edge and Stone Axe. I think it's ridiculous that it gets those moves, but you know, I mean, it gets everything right. If I had to guess what six he'd bring, I'm guessing Deoxys Speed. I think he'd bring Garchomp. Primarina is a pretty good defensive switch in to a couple of my Pokemon that I'm bringing here. Uh, I think he has to bring Terra Chandelure, especially into the Sun matchup. I think he'll go maybe like Terra Grass or Terra Fairy. Um, Zapdos Galar, I think, has a pretty good chance of showing up. And for his last mon, it could be Scizor if he thinks he wants to remove some hazards. Raikou, or one of the other two Terra Pokemon, Greedent and Glaceon. Coming off of week one, we got the W, which is pretty huge, right? I'm trying to keep the momentum going. And one of the sets that did pretty well last week was Assault Vest Torn T, so we're bringing it again. He's got the Regenerator. We're bringing the U-Turn, Knockoff, Heat Wave, and Bleak Wind Storm. We're max HP, 52 special attack, and 208 speed. We'll bring the Timid Nature. This speed tier lets us outspeed Raikou and below, barring any choice scarfers. Like I said, similar set to last week, it's meant to be a bulky and fast pivot. This week we switched out Grass Nut for Heat Wave for Scizor, and as you'll see later, we're bringing the Sun, so it'll power up in that. And if we see Smeargle, this is the dedicated lead because I have a little anti-strat for it. It's not super sound, but it's what I'm going with. Next up, we're taking Big Charles Youth off the bench. He's got the boots on with the Beads of Ruin, Ruination, Will-O-Wisp, Dark Pulse, and Flamethrower. Got the max special attack and max speed Timid Nature. Um, we're running max speed just to speed tie with Galarian Zapdos. It can outspeed Scarf if we knock off the Scarf, but he's not running like Jolly max speed. But otherwise, we're just looking to speed tie. We're bringing Ruination because I think Assault Vest Primarina is a definite bring into my team. And Ruination, chunks it down to 50%, and then we can pivot into something else. And it pressures other Pokemon that are slower than it, right? So non-Scarf Chandelure, Scizor, Sarina if he brings it, stuff like that. Next up, we're bringing offensive Walking Wake this week with the Life Orb and Photosynthesis, which we will be activating later, with Terra Blast, Flamethrower, Hydro Steam, and Draco Meteor. He's got 80 HP for a Life Orb number, 208 special attack, and 220 speed with a Timid Nature. This is the WinCon, our wall breaker of our team. He's Terra Grass, so that if Primarina switches in, like I mentioned, the AV Primarina set, Hydro Steam into Terra Blast Grass is going to be doing a number to it. And we're going Photosynthesis speed this week. In the Sun, we outspeed max speed Timid Deoxys, trying to like outspeed Walking Wake speed creeping another Pokemon. And this week, I wanted Life Orb over something like Specs or Scarf because I didn't want to really be locked into my moves, and I'm okay taking a little bit of HP just to get a 30% boost to all my moves. Next up is Choice Banded Decidueye with the long reach, so we can ignore, Garchomp Rough Skin or any Rocky Helmets these got going on. We've got the U-Turn, Shadow Sneak, Leaf Blade, and Poltergeist, max HP, max attack, 8 speed for anything trying to speed creep and no speed. Decidueye. This is our lead if we do not see Smeargle. Um, we're trying to get out there and we're trying to hit as hard as possible. We're packing Shadow Sneak in case it's like a no bulk Deoxys speed. And if it is bulky, we're taking a good 70% from it. And, you know, there aren't a lot of Poltergeist switch-ins on my opponent's team. And things that do take Poltergeist decently well, like Primarina, don't want to take a Leaf Blade. So this is another one of our wall breakers. As for walls, we've got physically defensive Galarian Weezing. Now, he's rocking the Rocky Helmet to get some more chip. We've got the Levitate, Defog, Pain Split, Sludge Bomb, and Strange Steam. We're max HP, max defense, 8 speed in case anything's trying to creep us. This is the Garchomp and the Galarian Zapdos switching. Excuse me. He could pack Iron Head on Garchomp, but it's not doing too much. We're packing Defog to get rid of the spikes and the stealth rocks, and because we're not bringing our own hazards, we don't lose too much on that. And, Dual Stab is just good. Maybe snag a poison with Sludge Bomb. Strange Steam hits the Garchomp. And finally, we're bringing our Sunsetter. We got Ninetales with the Heat Rock and the Drought. Will-O-Wisp, Baton Pass, Encore, and Flamethrower. Running max HP, max speed with a Timid Nature to also speed tie that Galarian Zapdos. This is just here to set Sun. It can maybe get a Will-O-Wisp off, maybe Cheeky Burn. If something tries to set up, we can Encore it. But its main goal is to go in there, Baton Pass into Walking Wake, and let it do its job. That's the end of the team builder, and I'll see you in the battle. Alright, here we are at the battle. Before we get started, I just want to say good luck, have fun with my man Bope. Brings a couple things I didn't expect. He brings Glaceon, Chandelure, brings that Primarina, Speed, Raikou, and he brings Scizor. I did not expect this Scizor, if I'm going to be totally honest. We do not see the Smeargle, so we are going to lead Decidueye. As far as things I think kill lead, I think Dio Speed is an alright lead. I think maybe also lead Scizor. And before this battle gets started, I just want to say a massive thank you to John Jr. I forgot to say it last week because I was just super nervous about, trying to perform. Sorry, I was just letting him know my Terra type. He is Terra Water on Glaceon and Chandelure both. Yeah. I just want to say massive shout out to John Jr. for hosting the league, giving me the opportunity to be here and really show what I can do. Yeah, let's get into this battle. Alright, he is going to lead with that Dio speed. If he's just a hazard lead, I mean, Poltergeist is good. I could also Leaf Blade just so I don't risk missing at all. But Leaf Blade's not a super good roll to kill. U-turn's also just a fine play here. I think I'll go for the U-turn. It gives me a good chance to kill. And I can pivot accordingly based on what he wants to do. He might just set up some hazards. He could try to taunt me. Could just go for an attack. Knockoff could be pretty good. He just goes for his rocks. Alright. So we do have rocks on our side. We're gonna go for a big U-turn here. And we are gonna bring it pretty low. Bring it down to its Focus Sash. Alright. So that tells me that he's got pretty much little to no bulk on this thing. In retrospect, I should not have U-turned because I don't have any priority on this team outside of Decidueye. Could go Torn. I don't want to really get knocked off here, but nothing else really wants to take this hit, and I can just U-turn again. Get myself into maybe just back into Decidueye, which is something I think I will do. We are going to take the rocks, but I think that's okay. Psycho Boost isn't doing too much. Knockoff would suck. Yeah, losing my Assault Vest would be pretty bad, but I think U-turn is just fine here. I'll go for it. You could just go for another like spike. Or you could just try to get Jeb. You could go for like a Thunderbolt or something. But we'll see. You could also go for like a physical Zen Headbutt, something of the sort. But hopefully we just see like a Psycho Boost. Spike wouldn't be terrible, so I can defog it. He goes for the knockoff. We're gonna lose our AB, which sucks. But not the end of the world. We are gonna U-turn and we are gonna KO. Torn T KOs Dio Speed. As far as what I want to go into here, I mean, he doesn't have, now that Dio Speed's gone, he doesn't have a lot for Wheezing. How much does Scizor do to Wheezing? Yeah. If he's just like the Sword Stand set, it's doing about half. I think I'm just gonna go Decidueye. Put him back in the same situation as the first lead. Keeping his hazards to only rocks is pretty good for my Ninetales and my Walking Wake here. I do want to try to get rid of them at some point. Just so you know, my Ninetales isn't taking 25% on every switch in here. Wonder what the Terra Water is for. Maybe it's just for walling Walking Wake a little bit better. Maybe take on Chi-Yu. Goes into Shun? Just the Sizzler. Okay. Knockoff's doing a lot. I don't really want to stay in here. If he's max speed, he'll outspeed me. I do have a little bit of speed investment, but I don't think it's something I really want to risk quite yet. Knockoff's pretty free to my team. I could go easy. He could also just go for a U-turn here. How much is he doing to Weezing here? A combination of moves won't take out my Weezing, and I can bluff like a flamethrower, and it gives me an opportunity to get rid of the rocks, so I will go Weezing here. I think he'll go for a knock or U-turn. I don't think he'll bullet punch on this. I'm gonna take some rocks chip. He goes for that knock. Doesn't do too much. And his lefties. Okay. He's either like, I think he's just jolly. Bullet punch isn't doing too much. He could fear the flamethrower. I'm just gonna defog these hazards away. I don't want my Torn taking 25% on every switch in here. I'm gonna take a lot of damage on Weezing, but because there's no guard chomp this game or Gyapdos, its use is pretty limited. He's a very specially oriented team this week. He's just gonna withdraw. Maybe fearing the flamethrower, like I said. He goes into Strider, which is that Chandelure. We're just gonna go for the defog. Get rid of those rocks. So now we are going to play a hazardless game. Fire Blast is doing a lot. He's Terra Water. I mean, do I really have a good switch in here? Not really. Because Torn doesn't have his Assault Vest anymore. Yeah, he's doing too much to Torn. I might just have to let Weezing go down here and try to go for like a Sludge Bomb. Poison maybe. I'm at 263. 23%. Shadow Ball has a chance to kill. If he's running Fire Blast, that does kill. I'll just Sludge Bomb. He goes for the Shadow Ball. This will tell me what set he is here. That's Choice Specs. That's for sure Choice Specs. We don't snag the poison, but that's okay. Knowing that he's Choice Specs now, how good does Chi-Yu take this? He takes it alright. I do 100% think he's Choice Specs, just based off the damage. I think I'll just let Weezing go down though, just to get some momentum. Shandy KOs Weezing G. I mean, it did its job. I don't have to play with hazards anymore. Now we just get free into Charles Youth here. And not a lot on his team. I'm gonna go for Charles Youth here, and then I'm going to Ruinate on the Primarina. Because I do believe he's Choice Specs, just based off that damage on Weezing. And I could also just go for Dark Pulse, do a safe low middle ground here. If he goes Primarina, I could go into Torn maybe, but if he's offensive, that'll hurt. I'll go for Dark Pulse, because if he's not choiced, which he Terras, he goes for Terra Water here. Is he not choiced? Based on that damage, it looked pretty choiced. I mean, Dark Pulse is still doing a lot. Dang, that did nothing. He's Assault Vest. Okay. Did a lot to my guy though. Holy moly. Jandy, KOs. Shiyu. This guy's a big problem for my team. How much does Ninetales take, I guess? If he's running the Terra Blast. It's doing a lot, unfortunately. I don't think I have another choice though. I could go... No. I'm just gonna go Ninetales. And I'm gonna encore it into Terra Blast here. Alternatively, I could just go Walking Wake and try to sponge the hit here. How much does Wake take from it in the sun? He just goes, Terra Blast isn't doing a lot. I'll just go Wake here. I need to make this double. This Shandy's really putting me on the back foot here. In prep, I knew Shandy was going to be a problem, but I thought that damage was choice specs. I might have just been calculating it wrong. That could have been modest, I guess. I was looking at timid choice specs. We are going to get the photosynthesis active. He goes for the Shadow Ball. Good play. That does a lot. I think Terra Blast is okay. He could go Scizor afterwards, which could suck. I mean, Draco... If I'm not, like... Unless I'm missing something? What if he's max HP? Draco should KO here. Yeah, I'm gonna just drop a Draco. He could go Primarina. In which case Terra Grass would be better. I want to stay Water type for Scizor because I don't want to get revenged. Okay, we connect the Draco. And we do KO. Okay. Wake KOs Shandy. Holy moly, this is a pretty quick battle. So we are -2. He sees our Life Orb. What's he wants to do here? He could go into the Primarina because I'm -2. Could be a good opportunity to get a Calm Mind up. He could also go... Scizor. Glaceon could be pretty free too. Honestly, all of his options are good. Because he gets pretty much one free turn. Goes into Katara, which is Primarina. Now, I don't think I'm doing too much to this at -2. Even with the Terra Grass here. Yeah, it's not doing a whole lot, so we are going to get out of here. We could go Decidueye, which is what I'm leaning towards. If he's carrying the Ice Beam, which I do expect him to be carrying, it would KO Wake at this point. If he's offensive, it would not KO Decidueye. If he's not speed invested, we would outspeed it. Alternatively, I could go Torn, but then I don't really do much back to it. So I'll go Decidueye here. And Leaf Blade should send this thing back. You could go Scizor on the Leaf Blade, in which case I could go for a Poltergeist. He goes for Calm Mind, okay. So he's not AV. Just say he's like leftovers. He's +1/+1. At this point, Ice Beam would take me out if he's offensive. If he's not speed invested, or if he's speed creeping like no speed, then we would outspeed him here. I want to go for the Leaf Blade. I think if he goes Scizor, I'm okay. We'll see if he's speed invested. Okay, he just withdraws. We know he's Calm Mind now. He goes into Shun. We're not going to do a whole lot here. Yeah, did like 10%. We are forced to switch. How many turns of Sun do we have left? We have 4 more turns, okay. So I'm just gonna go into Torn. Don't really have a better play at this point. He could U-turn, which would put us in a bad spot, but I can't stay in with the Decidueye. After if you're knocked out, there's the U-turn. There's a little bit. Could go Raikou here. Could also be Glaceon here. He goes into the Raikou. Okay, still have the Sun up. I mean, Heat Wave is doing a good bit. I'm not super familiar with Raikou. I don't know what type of coverage this thing gets. I'm not gonna lie, I did not prep super well for this. Special moves, does he get like... He gets Shadow Ball, which could be pretty bad for me. I'd have to maybe just go Ninetales and see what it wants to do. If it goes for a Calm Mind, we can maybe Encore it. That means we won't have Sun up if he can take me out. Could also just stay in a U-turn. Because I am faster unless he's Scarf. And if he's Scarf, that gives me momentum. Do I need Point T anymore? I'm gonna U-turn. I wanna see if he's Scarf or not. He's not Scarf, okay. I'm just gonna go into Ivy, see what it wants to do. Do I still need Decidueye? Or can I win this game with Walking Wake at this point? I need to get that Scizor chip down more. So if I just go Decidueye, I'm gonna go Ivy. I think this could be a misplay, but I just want to see what he wants to do. If he goes for Shadow Ball, then okay, he just goes for the Volt Switch. Brings you down to 243. So it did about 30%. That could be a min roll on just max special attack Timid. It doesn't look like he's a boosting item though at all. He may not be fully invested, but like I said, it could just be a min roll. Ninetales does put him in a bit of a position though. He has to kind of go Primarina. But if he goes Primarina, I'll probably... If he goes Primarina, I'm gonna Willow it, and then I'm gonna Encore it on the next turn. Because I think he might try to predict Decidueye coming in here. He does go Primarina. Last time I just went Decidueye on him. Would he make that read? We have 2 turns of Sun left. Would I Willow? I think I'd rather just get damage actually. I need chip on this. Yeah, I'll go for the Flamethrower here. I should live anything. He's just the offensive Calm Mindset in the Sun. Yeah, Surf isn't taking me out. Flamethrower is not doing anything really, but I just wanna... If it goes for a Calm Mind, I'll Encore it. And then I can Baton Pass based on what it wants to do on the next turn. Yeah, that does not do a whole lot. Just goes for the Moonblast, okay. It does not do much. The special attack drop, not a big deal. We have one more turn of Sun. He might... I think this turn he's gonna go for Surf or Calm Mind. So I will Baton Pass this turn. Into Decidueye. Because now I'm doing pretty negligible damage. I don't think he'd Ice Beam on this turn, because I've showed that I want to stay in. So I'll go Decidueye here. And then at this point, Poltergeist is pretty free. Yeah, he goes for the Surf, alright. Yeah, it does not do a whole lot. The Sun is gone, so we can set it up later. And his Poltergeist switch-ins aren't looking too good, especially with this chip. So I'll go for it. If he goes Scizor, he's gonna take a bunch. And based on his set, I don't think he'd be too fast, because he's pretty bulky. Although he could just be max HP, max speed. That could be a shout, actually. He's gonna switch out. He goes into the Raikou. This would be big if I can hit this. Go for the Poltergeist. Hit it by its leftovers, okay. And we are going to take it out. That's huge. Decidueye KO's Raikou. That opens up Torn a little bit more. Goes back into Shun. I do think that's the Scizor. He could be Now, okay, Scizor. He's just like the leftover set. He could be bluffing that he's faster than me. Knockoff, I don't think he's got too much attack investment. Knockoff does 82% max, 80.2% max. I'm at 280. Knockoff is a chance to KO me, and I think staying in could be good here. Alternatively, I could let Ninetales go down and try to get Wake in and try to do some things with Wake. Torn could also be an okay play, but if he U-turns, then I'm in a not a terrible spot actually. Actually, I'm gonna play it safer. I'm gonna go Torn because Raikou down. So if he U-turns, he's not in a super advantageous spot. And if he stays in and knocks off like I think he will, then he goes for the knockoff. Okay. He could go for a slow U-turn. If he goes Primarina, I think I'm gonna Heat Wave. Because if he goes Primarina, I can always U-turn on the following turn, and Heat Wave will do a lot to this. How much does it do to Glaceon? I mean, it doesn't matter. It'll probably, yeah, it two-shots Glaceon, so I'll go for the Heat Wave. If he goes Prim, it's not a big deal, because we can always just U-turn on the next turn into Ninetales. If he takes out Ninetales, then we get a free in on blocking Wake. If he Calm Minds, we can Encore it. And then from there, Wake might be able to take the game home. He withdraws Scizor. Okay. Goes into UA. I think that's the Glaceon. He's gonna be taking a lot. That did not do a whole lot, actually. I may have lied. 52. He could be especially defensive, I suppose. Yeah, that could just be a defensive Glaceon. I could go for a knock here. Ice Beam could be doing a lot, but based on that, he doesn't look super offensive. I think I'll knock. Because I want to know what its item... It could just be Boots, honestly. I could also U-turn into Ninetales, which would get me into Wake. Yeah, I'll U-turn, just see what he wants to do. Does not do a whole lot. I think just getting into Ninetales, seeing what it wants to do. I'll have a harder time dealing with Primarina, but I think that's okay. So I'll go Ninetales here. And if he tries to Calm Mind or something, I can Encore it. If he wants to just attack me, that'll be fine too. We get the Sun up. Just goes for Ice Beam. Okay. Did not do too much. And Flamethrowers has a chance to KO. And if he goes into Primarina, then I just let Ninetales go down at this point. So I'll Flamethrow here. There might be a couple rolls where he lives this, but I mean, his best attack for me is like Water Pulse, and that's not doing a whole lot because he can't Terra anymore. And like I said, if he goes Prim, I'm just gonna let Ninetales go down, try to get more Flamethrowers off. If he Calm Minds, I can Encore him. Just try to keep him in a spot where he can't win the game with Primarina. And Scizor can't take on the rest of my team if he has Swords Dance. He does switch out. Most likely into Primarina. If he goes Scizor, then that's great. If he goes Katara, that's Primarina. So we'll just get this Flamethrower off. I'm not gonna do too much. Yeah, I'm just gonna Flamethrower again. If he wants to take me out, then that works for me. Then I can get into Wake. I snag a Burn. Oh, unlucky. Hopefully it doesn't matter too much. He goes for the Moonblast. We do live that. I think I want to Encore him into that. Because if I Encore him... Do I want to Encore or do I just want to let this go down? Because I don't want him to start Calm Minding. I want to Encore. Because if he stays in, then he's stuck into Moonblast, then I can go Decidueye after. If he switches out, then I'm faster than his Pokemon. I guess if he goes Scizor, but I don't think he'd go Scizor after I've clicked Flamethrower a couple times on him. Could make a prediction. But if he goes Scizor, and I just go for Baton Pass, then... he's in a bad spot at that point. I need to check how much does Walking Wake take from like a defensive Sizzler. He's got leftovers. A Bullet Punch from Terra Grass. It's doing about 30%, so I need to make sure I stay above that. If he's max attack, it's doing 139 damage, so I need to stay above 140. So Prim's gonna take me out here. Then KO's Ninetales. Now I get a free in on Decidueye and I get to click Poltergeist again. That or I go Wake. I'm at 120. I'm gonna go Decidueye because I don't want to take Life Orb damage quite yet, and I don't want to Terra, because that can force a prediction later. I'm trying to think, has he activated an item? I don't think he has. Holy moly, future me, I'm looking like a bozo right now, I know it. Yeah, I'll go for Poltergeist. Hopefully he goes Sizzler, because if he goes Sizzler, then Walking Away cleans up this game guaranteed. That or he has to let Primarina go down. He switches out. He goes into UA, that's Glaceon. Glaceon's gonna take a big hit. Go for the Poltergeist, we connect, and it is AV, okay. Oh, we're so close on taking that out. If he's AV, Ice Beam to Decidueye is taking me out here. Do I think he'd be a fast AV set? I do. How much does he... I'll go Torn, I'll go Torn. Because at this point, I don't need Torn. How many turns of Sun do I have left? I have 3 turns. Could also let Decidueye go down here. No, I'm gonna go Torn. I'm gonna go Torn. Because I can keep Decidueye around later for Shadow Sneak. And it can beat Sizzler one-on-one if he's not offensive or if he's slower. Yeah, he goes for the Ice Beam. We're gonna take a bit. We can't be frozen this week because we have the sun up. Holy moly, that did so much. And I'm just gonna U-turn. Because I don't want to miss a move. I could knock. See what he wants to go for. Yeah, I'm gonna U-turn and I'm gonna go into Wake. And then based on what he goes into, I'll plan accordingly. So Torrent, he KOs Glaceon. We're gonna get a little bit of regen back. That could matter. So we're gonna go into Wake here. We've only got we only got like 1 or 2 turns left here. I'm not sitting super pretty on this guy, but my idea is if he goes Prim, I Terra Grass, and I go for the Terra Blast. If he goes Sizzler, I Flamethrower. He could make a prediction, go Prim, and then double into Sizzler, which could be bad. Which might be his only way out, but if he does that, his Sizzler is still taking a lot, and I can still just go to Decidueye after. I think if he does that, I go Torn, I let it go down, and then I go Decidueye, and I click Poltergeist 2 times and I win. Hopefully. If he goes... yeah. Because if he goes Sizzler now, I don't have to Terra. He goes Shun. Yeah, I'm at 120 health. If he's leftovers, Bullet Punch never kills. We do have the sun up, right? Just to make sure. We do. We have 1 turn left. So I will go for the Flamethrower. His Bullet Punch will not KO. And if he's not super offensive, then I will live Life Orb Recoil after. Okay, he's just gonna let Sizzler go down. Okay. Wake KOs Sizzler. And now he just has Primarina left. We lose a little bit HP to Life Orb, but now we can just Terra Grass. Harsh Sunlight is gone. If he's the bulky Calm Mindset and I Terra Grass, this should be a wrap. So I'll go for it. If this doesn't work, I can go to Decidueye after. We are going to Terra here. And Wake should take this home. Let's see it, baby. Come on, Wake. We're going to go for the Terra Blast. And Walking Wake takes it home, baby. Let's go. Wake KO's Primarina. And with that, we pick up the... Unless I had miscounted Pokemon? We did not, okay. Phew! And with that, we take up the Week 2 W. You know, he played amazingly. We get the 3-0. He played amazing. GG's to Bope. Make sure to check him out down in the description. Watch his channel trailer. He plans out what he wants to do in this channel. It talks about some IRL content. It's pretty exciting. I'm planning on watching it. If you are, make sure you subscribe to him and watch that stuff. As well as the rest of the JJDL coaches. Again, shout out to John Jr. for hosting the league. I'm Lamaunade, and I'll see you next week. See you later.